Welcome to OmniRay Electronics. Today we have finally got our hands on the long-awaited Intel Arc GPU. Although it isn't the much more anticipated A770, I thought taking a look at the Intel Arc A380 GPU would be interesting. I'm not expecting great performance out of this low-end card, but it's been a while since the other major reporters have taken a look at how the Intel drivers are coming along, so that is going to be my main goal for today. We are going to run a variety of benchmarks to try and get a proper understanding of not only the performance of the A380, but also see if we run into any errors or crashes from bad drivers. The A380 is going to be paired with our 12100F to show a realistic low-end setup. And I would assume the Intel GPUs are probably best paired with an Intel CPU for optimization. Starting with Red Dead Redemption 2 at the lowest possible preset, 1080p, everything is actually running very well, keeping at a pretty consistent 60 FPS. I mean, running at the lowest preset isn't the most taxing thing in the world, but I'm at least happy it's running the game well at any level. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077, set to 1080p and manually turning down every setting to its lowest quality. We keep roughly around 60 FPS here. We do have some dips down to around 55 FPS, but also have a spike over 80 FPS, but in general, the game runs quite well, although once again, it's at the lowest quality possible. Moving on to Horizon Zero Dawn, this game to me isn't as taxing as Cyberpunk or Red Dead, so I was a bit more optimistic that this title could run at a higher quality than the lowest preset, but unfortunately at ultimate quality we only averaged 38 FPS. Maybe the medium quality would work fine for 60 FPS gaming, but it's about the same story here as it is for the other benchmarks. Alright, now let's try something a little bit different. I have heard that the Intel cards are only optimized for the newer DirectX titles, so I thought I would try opening up an older game that I know is always a staple experience. I chose Borderlands 2, and although I'm not sure which DirectX version this game uses, but when we jump into the gameplay, here we are seeing a lot of strange visual behavior. Sometimes when scoping in, we will see a lot of black dots around. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but parts of the map seem to disappear. We also experienced quite a bit of stuttering, even though the game should have been ran easily. So clearly some work still needs to be done on older titles, although I will admit it was still a pretty playable experience. Lastly, I wanted to try a new game that came out that sounded like Intel optimized their GPUs for on release. SpiderMan Remastered, and honestly, this little A380 is putting up a decently impressive performance. At the medium setting, we are averaging 60 FPS pretty easily. We have an occasional dip below 60, but it's only in very high traffic areas, and honestly on other graphics cards we do see similar performance as well. Attempting to put it to the higher setting proved to be a bit too much, dipping into 30 FPS when in high traffic. But overall, a medium quality experience and a newly released title at this price point is pretty good. That will do it for our benchmarks today. Overall, the A380 isn't particularly impressive, and realistically, if somebody is building a PC in this price range, you would get better performance and save money going used and getting something like a 1070 or even like a 1660 Super. But on a more positive note, when looking at other brand new cards in this price range, I think I would actually recommend this card over some of the others. You know, it might not get the same performance in games like the 6500 XT, but with an encoder and a couple other added features that the 6500 XT just doesn't have, I think that kind of edges the A380 out over something like the 6500 XT. And I guess the other new card that's kind of in this range is the 1630, but I haven't really done a whole lot of testing on that card or seen a whole lot of testing. From what I understand, it's a really bad GPU from NVIDIA, so I still think I would probably edge out the A380 over that card, but like I said, I haven't really done any of my own testing yet. The biggest downside truly to the A380 is not being able to play some of these older DirectX titles. And if that's a big thing that you want to do, like playing something like Fallout New Vegas, or if you are a Borderlands 2 player, I know that there's a lot of people that still will bust that game out. It does seem that those older drivers have a long way to come before the games are a lot more playable. I mean, when I was playing Borderlands 2, the experience wasn't awful. I was getting good frame rate, but you know, when you have all that artifacting, it really takes away from the game quite a bit. I would not recommend it regardless, even if the gameplay was pretty decent on it. And that is all I really have for you guys today. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about this new Intel GPU. Not too long ago, I believe it was either yesterday or the day before, depends on when I end up uploading this video, they just announced the A770 for Intel, so we're going to be taking a look at that as well. Pretty awesome timing considering we just got this guy in and got a good review of it, so we'll be able to compare the two cards more extensively once we are able to get the A770. Yeah, that all being said, guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the content today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.